Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's Wednesday, commonly referred to as Hump Day. Now, I don't know where that came from, Hump Day. You know, maybe the guy was sitting that was writing up the days went to sit down and sat on a tack, and he jumped up or something, and then decided to call it Hump Day. I have no idea. Does anybody have an idea of where the Hump Day term came from? You know, people think in a sexual connotation that this is the day you get laid. Okay, I don't know about you, but most guys I know, especially young guys, I'm not that age anymore. Sorry, folks. But when I was younger, sex was every day of the week. I mean, there wasn't a special day you had to have sex, you know. So I really don't know what's going on with that. If anybody has a great idea, put a comment down and put it in the comments, and we'll see what comes up. Now, I had a comment today from somebody, from a follower, that said he's starting to read 60s sociology and psychology papers. Well, I suggest quite strongly you take a hit of acid with that so that it starts to make some sense to you, you know. But I studied psychology and sociology not in the 60s, really. I guess I started late 60s, yeah, and went into the 70s, 80s, 90s. That was it. I never got a degree. I just took all the courses I could: social psychology, criminal behavior courses, all kinds of stuff like that just interested me, you know. That's when I decided that the way best college, I don't know what you call it, program for studying is to just learn what you want to learn, you know. And it's not important for you to know the specifics of history, a general idea of history. You've learned that if you're in college, you've already learned how to write and spell, so you don't really need a lot of English. Unless you decide you want to study poetry. Then again, it's what you want to study what you want to study, you know. And I don't think you have to be specific all around. I think society and the world will teach you the rest of the all-around balance for you. Just study what you like. That's what I did, and I enjoyed it, you know, and I did very, very well in it. I had like a 3.9 grade average. I forgot what brought me down. Didn't turn something in or something. I forgot what. That's a long time ago, folks. You know, I'm lucky I can remember my name. And you want me to go back 50 years? I don't know about that. All right, so moving right along. What did I write down this morning? Oh, there's a big thing with the kids in Australia. There's a social media ban. Now, I have a thing about that because I agree and I disagree. I agree that there's some stuff that they shouldn't be watching, but there's got to be a different way to monitor that. And apparently they couldn't figure out how to do that. Because social media is a way parents stay in contact with their kids at all times. You don't have to worry about, you know, they use it to monitor their children if you know what you're doing. Again, if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you get a lot of bad shit on there. You get cyberbullying, you know. And my theory about cyberbullying is find the bully and beat the shit out of him, okay? And then he won't be a cyberbully anymore. You know, you keep saying, well, we have to think about the fuck the psychology. Beat the shit out of him. All right? But that's the big thing that they're doing down there. What did I have something here for? Oh, and going with social media too, the U.S. is thinking about asking people for 5 years of social media history to let them into the country. I'm not giving you my fucking social media history. What are you, out of your mind? That's privacy, dude. You know, there's nothing wrong with mine. You know, there's no, except for this stuff, there's no dirty stuff on social media. because it can be tracked too easily. So I am smart enough not to do everything like that. I don't care if they track this. You know where I am. I'm in Bayo, South America, Colombia. So I don't worry about that too much. I'm just here making, conversation with a bunch of people that are just as crazy as I am. And based upon the initials and stuff that they send me, they're all related. Hope they're not inbred. What else is going on? I think that's even the two social media things. Banning it doesn't accomplish anything because kids are very, if you want to see what banning something does, look at Prohibition back in the 20s when they told people they couldn't drink anymore. A group of women got together and decided, and religious people got together and said, you can't drink anymore. There's no alcohol anymore. And alcohol consumption doubled. Okay? When you tell somebody they can't do something, they really want to do it. So when you tell a kid, especially a kid, listen, you can't go on social media, no Facebook, no YouTube, nothing anymore. You can't do social media. All right? Well, I think that you're damaging the child to a certain degree. I don't know. You damage a child if you bully the child too. So it's a tough thing to deal with. But I believe in trying to monitor it or somehow or another, and that gets dangerous too. So I don't know that there's a right way or a wrong way, but I do know that if they tried it in the United States, there'd be serious, serious, serious consequences to that. I don't think they could do it. They're going to try, though, because it's a way of monitoring your presence in the world, just to see if you can, you're not doing anything wrong or anything. They love the government loves to watch over you, and hey, what are you going to do? Let them watch over me. I don't care, Basically, I'm 80 years old. I'm about 36 days away from being 80, if I make it that far. It's still up in the air. So I don't really care about much, worry about too much, It's good to be old. Some people don't think so. Some people get tired, it's, oh man, I can't do this. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Alright? You can do anything you want to do. So don't worry about that too much, alright? Oh, here's the other big thing, interest rates. Now here's what people don't understand. The average guy sitting, like me, sitting in a chair right now, getting fatter, and or maybe they're talking on maybe they're making a video too, But the interest rates are supposedly dropped down. They drop down a small point, like a quarter of a point or something like that. Now, what does that do? Well, supposedly it reduces the interest rate on your credit card. Well, it didn't do it the last time they cut it. What it did do was reduce the rate of some of my dividends. So that pissed me off. It's strange how it works. I'm really not sure how that works. But I'll tell you this. Nobody out there might, sitting around in their easy chair understands it either. They think it's a great thing. The only people that benefit from this interest rate cut are the billionaires and corporations because they can go borrow money at a cheaper rate. That's all it means. Banks borrow at a cheaper rate from each other. It's a simple math thing, I guess. It doesn't really affect the average person. Because prices don't go down once they go up. They've been up as long as a lot of the prices that everybody's complaining about that are up there now, they will adjust them by having sales, okay, to get rid of the products they don't sell. But most of the stuff you're being charged higher prices for right now has got nothing to do with interest rates because that stuff was bought before the interest rates went up. Contracts were signed and everything like that. Prices were locked in. And people don't understand business. And that's very difficult to make. I don't understand everything about business, so don't ask me a business question because you think I'm some sort of wild, crazy expert. Uh, I do know that one of the things you see in the economy that's I've seen for years. You give what it started when I forgot the mayor in New York gave the garbage men a big raise one year, right around New Year's, and then the cops wanted it, the firemen wanted it, everybody else wanted it, and before you know it, the raise that the garbage men got didn't mean anything anymore. Garbage men make a living wage, a good wage if they live outside of New York, a horrible wage if they live inside New York. New York's one of the most expensive places to live in the world besides Tokyo. But when you give a raise to somebody, if you ever look at your raise, all right, I got a cost of living increase every year when I worked for Chrysler. I was in the office, but I got the same benefits the union got, all right, without the bullshit. I didn't pay dues. Okay, they just gave it across the board raises to everybody. So I got a cost of living increase, all right. Within, I'd say a month and a half, it was gone. Didn't mean anything anymore. Not because I was spending more money. I wasn't spending any more money. But prices went up. First thing you come up, you go up against is gas, and then you go up against this, then you go up against that. It gets wiped out very fast. People that get huge raises, unless you're getting you're way up there in the stratosphere and you're getting a $500,000 a year raise, then you can put that in the bank, maybe. Maybe, I doubt it though. Because these people are mortgaged to the hilt usually. See, that's the problem with when they give you credit cards. You begin to understand that you're using somebody else's money to pay your bills. And eventually you have to pay it. And that's where the problem comes in, because life has ups and downs. So you can be really well off, but you spend a lot of money on credit cards, and then all of a sudden you need something that your insurance does. Your car breaks down, doesn't have an accident or anything where you could dump it off on an insurance company or something like that. And if you dump it off on the insurance company, your premiums go up or they drop you. I've been dropped more than once by insurance companies, all right? I have a life insurance policy. It's reaching the point where I almost can't afford to pay the premiums anymore. I'm so old. So, what started out as like $90 is now $230 or something a month. And when you're on a fixed income, that gets difficult to pay. So, but you have to look at a raise seriously, what was it? The guys were fighting one year for a 50 cent an hour raise. All right. Over 40 hours, it's like $20. Maybe. Something like that. I don't know the math in front of me. I'm not real. I could used to be a whiz at math. My head is a little tired for that right now. But, you're not getting people like that better than saying, well, we're going to give you a $100 a week raise. But some people prefer the $100 a week raise. Well, you don't get $100. You get $100 minus about 20%. So you're getting $80 and you have bills to pay. It's not found money because everything else is going to start to go up. Do you think that, let's say, my favorite company to pick on, Macy's, all right? Do you think Macy's is going to pay their employee, or well, you can see? All right, you really want to see it? Look at the fast food restaurants. These guys were used to make minimum wage, and now making the minimum wage is like some places is $15 an hour, and you're paying almost $10 something for a hamburger. And by the time you pay for a hamburger, French fries, a soda, and an ice cream, you got $15. It's gone. All right, so people don't understand that. It doesn't stick around. It's the economy's a really complicated thing to deal with. you know. And unless you have millions of dollars, it's difficult to make millions of dollars. All right. Someday I'll explain that one to you. All right. So anyhow, looking at Wednesday, that's what was going on. And let me see what else I can figure out here. Hold on, don't anybody go anywhere. There was something else I wanted to talk about, but I don't remember what it was. Where did it go? Oh, here. Man, I can't find stuff sometimes. I'm having a lot of trouble. My glasses are shot. I need new glasses, and I can't really, So anyhow, Trump was the big thing they were doing is Trump was dancing all over the place on Pennsylvania, claiming how great the economy is and everything else. Listen, Trump has done a lot for the economy, just not the economy you and I use. It's the economy the rich people use. Okay? So they make these decisions and they look like they're doing good, but the economy, so because what? Corporations are making money? Corporations are looking to use AI and get rid of people. All right? To increase their profits. That's just the way it is, I mean, they're a greedy bunch of people, and it's like, look at Musk. He wants more money. He's got more money than he could if he just sat back and did nothing the rest of his life. He has more money than he could ever spend. All right. Of course, they invest it and whatnot. And they invest it not because it's the kindness of their heart. They're trying to help people. They invest it so that they don't lose it to taxes. Rich people hate paying taxes. All right, they hate paying money out. That's how they became rich. I don't know, folks. I just don't know. All right, listen, this is coming up the end of me for today. Tomorrow is a football game. Tomorrow night, we'll talk about that tomorrow night. We'll see what else we can do. I don't know what Thursday is. If Wednesday, I don't know what are the other nicknames for the days? We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is TGIF. But Wednesday's hump day. I don't know if that's really a factor. We'll have to see what that works out to be. But anyhow, hit the subscribe button, say hello, stick around with me. Every once in a while I do say something funny or something that's really, really, what's the term I'm looking for? Cool or something, All right. So everybody have a great day. Hit the subscribe button before you leave, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.